Hello and welcome back to BIPublisher Basics and Beyond. In this chapter, we will look at the data extraction using SQL. So our objective is to use SQL to extract data. So before we start, as always, there is a zip file available right below this video. The zip file will contain the files that are used within this chapter. Feel free to download and work your way too. Let's go back to the basics. Let's start with uh, connecting the data through the way to template. So the data is extracted from your source using the concurrent request. The concurrent request can be either tied to an RDF, a PL/SQL, or a Java concurrent program. The concurrent request is then tied to the data definition, and then the data definition is then tied to the template. The output processor takes care of merging the output from the concurrent program to the template. So going back to the data extraction method, we have gone through different data extraction methods. So the topmost extraction method is the RDF based extraction. Then comes the data template. I would go with, in this chapter we are going to cover the PL/SQL based extraction. It's a simple and easy way to extract, but on the downside of it is that the programmer will have to convert all the special characters. For example, ampersand should be converted to the you know to the HTML format, rather than the ampersand. So a lot of conversion activity would need to happen with the data extraction. So one of the advantages of using SQL directly is it's simple, it's easy to use. It's good for building a quick and easy report. The disadvantage is all the coding has to be done programmatically, which means that your start and end tag has to be created. You need to handle special characters manually. So if you have multi-level XML structure, you would need additional coding. It's not efficient for complicated reports. So, but then it's the main advantage of using SQL is simplicity. So let's see how to build the code. So the code will begin with you have a simple declare statement. Here's a sample code that you can use. So you have a simple declare statement. You have a cursor. You have the XML header. You have the main tag. You have the attributes. The today's date is an attribute, and you're going to pass this value. So you're going to loop through and generate the tag. So if you run this script, you would see the output correspondingly. So here the challenges are, you need to make sure that the today's date matches the today's date end tag. You need to make sure that the main tag over here, this is a tag, has to end. I need to make sure you have the right XML header too. So all these have to be manually handled. So once the program is created, everything else is similar. You would register it as a PL/SQL procedure and tying the concurrent program. And the program is tied to the concurrent program. Executable is tied to the program, and you would make sure that the format is XML. So once you have the so just to make sure that just because you have the XML, just because you have the output in XML format doesn't mean that the output processor will be triggered. In order for the output processor to trigger, you need to make sure that the format is XML. So you would tie the when you create the data definition. There's no special changes needed here. So before we continue, let's do let's do the hands-on lab that will give you a better idea. So let's go through this. So we will so I'm going to open the package, and we will see how the coding is done. So if you see here, in this particular code, all the tags are handled manually. I can have a loop, and all the tags are handled manually. I have the main tag here, which is main tag here. So pretty much all the coding has to be done manually. So if you observe closely, you can see that I'm calling a separate function called XML text clean. This would basically clean up the data from the special characters. Let's look at the code directly. So I have this package here, which is used to this package will be used to generate the output. So I have if you see here, I have multiple procedures here. For now, we will focus on the get CP details, and I have a separate function here which would clean up the data. I have a print routine in the package specification. So going to the details, we will look at the get concurrent program details. So this would have today's date as a date field. I have a cursor that will generate the that'll basically fetch the details for that report. So we will start from here. You can see here the first step would be to generate the XML tag for the header. So I use a separate routine called xxprint. If you go down to xxprint, all it is doing is based on the message and location, I'm displaying it in different outputs. So first we will start with the print. First we'll start with the header. Then I'm going to build the main tag. So I would complete the main tag first. I would end the main tag. Then I'm going to print the today's date tag. Then I'm going to open the cursor and loop through the cursor. Then I have the tag GPA concurrent program, and with that tag, inside the tag, I have these components that are displayed. So if you see here, some of them I'm calling this XML text clean function. So that function xclean function, the XML xclean function is to clean up the data. In this example, I'm just converting all the ampersand, everything. Basically, I'm replacing them with spaces. So I'm not doing any specific conversion. Just for the simplicity, I'm just converting them to spaces. So so it's pretty simple. This is pretty simple. As I said, the advantage is it's simple and easy to code. But then all the tags and all the attributes will have to be handled programmatically. Let's go back to the presentation. So we have looked at the package body and saw how we code the package. Like I said, we have this specific function to clean up the data. So for in a real time example, you would be handling all the ampersand as you'll be converting the ampersand as ampersand amp semicolon. In my code, I'm just removing them, just replacing them with spaces. So XML, this function is basically to print the output. So I can pass as a parameter. So if you look at the parameters that I use, I have three parameters. One of the parameters is output mode. Based on that output mode, I can print it into a different location for debugging. So compile the code. Once you compile the code, register the executable. So we could we could save some time uh, by leveraging the previous program. So you just can you can either or you can create a new executable and tie it to the package. Now tie the package to the once you tie the package to the executable, you tie the program concurrent program to the executable. Make sure that the format is XML. We have added a new parameter. Make sure you add that new parameter called output location. So if you see here, there's no token here because the token is tied to the RDF. So we're going to add this output location. So once the parameter is added, we are going since we are leveraging the existing concurrent program, we can go ahead and run the program. It's going to generate the output. So that's pretty much it. So so in this chapter we have looked at the simplest way of generating XML using PL SQL. It doesn't have to be a package. You can have a procedure to generate the same. So before we go further, let's take a look at the XML. Let's take a look at the Excel file that has the step-by-step instructions. So this Excel sheet has the step-by-step instruction. You can see here there's a step 1, step 2. In the step 1, it's saying you compile the package, spec, and body. Once the package, spec, and body is compiled, you register the concurrent programs. And once you register once you add it, if you are going through the complete setting one more time, you can have this go through step 2, or you can have an alternate step where you're shortcutting it through and modifying some stuff here. So that's pretty much it. So from this from this lab, that's pretty much it. So uh, we would come back with using XML gen to generate the XML output. In the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me to the link for asking questions. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will continue to see you in the next chapter. Thank you.